YouTube, what is going on? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. I know. Hear me out. I know I said I wasn't going to make any more videos on this stupid argument of first appearance versus cameo appearance versus full. But here I am. Thanks to our good friend Deshaun, I am making, hopefully, one last video on this debate. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so. Check out the links in the description below as well. We are so close to 14,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate if you guys are new viewers, hit the subscribe button. Check the channel out. Lots of good videos of past content to sift through as well. But let's get into this. Deshaun posts. Let's read it here. The debate between cameos and first appearances has been the biggest in comic book history, confusing me when I first started collecting. You're not the only one, Deshaun. It's all good. Most cameos are actually first appearances. Yeah, that's true. But a bad cover can lead to the next appearance being considered the first, which doesn't make sense. Well, this is where I kind of disagree with Deshaun, that this is a misconception. It's not a bad cover that leads somebody to the next book to coin it as something different for the most part. It's simply that these are the labels as they are, and we're going to get into it. But let's continue on. And the market doesn't count when considering the first appearance of a character. So this is how I responded to Deshaun here, because he's got the examples of Wolverine with 180, 181. Obviously, 299. Actually, Venom was in a cameo in 298 as well as 299. And then, of course, ASM 300. And then you got the Gambit. Gambit's in a level of its own. It's an argument of its own. And I'm not going to even get into that right now. But I'm going to go down to my comment. And this is going to be repetitive. This argument has been going on for years, and it's probably never going to end. But there is a point that I want to make here. So please stick around to get to this point, because if we ever want anything to change, or if we want our pitchforks to matter, it's going to have to be based on what I'm going to say. But let me read through a couple of comments first. I state, that's the problem right there, though. Nobody is saying books like Hulk 180 aren't first appearances. They are, but in cameo. And books like 181 are also first appearances, but in full. Both books are essentially first appearances at the same time. A first appearance in cameo and a first full appearance. They are two completely different things. 181 is also a second overall appearance of Wolverine while still being a first full appearance. This is why complete context matters, and this is why for me, and I don't say this to sound egotistical or to sound like I'm sitting on a high horse. Maybe it's just people's brains work differently, but it hurts my head when I break it down like this and people still don't understand it. And I'm not calling them stupid or anything like that, but I don't understand how they don't understand. And our brains are wired differently, but Wolverine's second appearance, his second overall appearance, is also his first full appearance. And it's that simple. And yes, 180 is overall his first appearance. The first time Wolverine ever showed up is in Hulk 180. The first time Venom ever showed up is in ASM 298. It's technically his first overall appearance, but his first full appearance doesn't happen until 3 appearances later in ASM 300. All of these things can happen simultaneously and at the same time, and these are why the labels mean what they mean. Whether you disagree with the labels or not, and this is what we're going to get into. And we're going to read what Mike says down here. Some people are like, well stated, stop being logical, you're going to kill the argument, so they're basically agreeing with me, right? This person said, well said. So I'm going to come down here to this Michael guy and no, like, you're going to see I'm kind of on the same page as Michael at the end of this discussion. But let's read what he says first. But so wrong. No, I'm not so wrong. That's where I disagree with him. A cameo is the brief appearance of a known character or actor. As he was unknown, it's the first appearance, period. Talking about like Wolverine or a new comic book character showing up. Just because the industry doesn't understand words doesn't change the words or definitions. Now, Michael is definitely being a hardhead right now, and he's being very arrogant. No disrespect, but he is. First off, go do your research. I recommend using the Oxford Library or the Oxford Dictionary. Many words have multiple meanings depending on the context. A cameo based on theatrical performances, and this word started coming to fruition or finding its definition back in Shakespearean days, where plays were put on by actors. The cameo that Michael here is talking about does not pertain to literature. There is actually a textbook definition of cameo that pertains to literature that has nothing to do with the character being known or unknown or a known actor. So this is false, and I try to explain this to him. I said, do your research. The cameo you are speaking of only implies to roles played by actors originating from the days of live plays during Shakespearean times. You need to educate yourself to how cameo is defined in literature. Michael does say a comic cameo is a brief appearance. Well, that's true. But if you look at the definition of cameo, when it gives you like synonyms, one of the synonyms is brief. So, Michael, you're not changing the argument here. It's just a word that we use, right? But Michael comes down and says this to me. You can only have a single first time you are seen. Oh, well, again, a first time you are seen is a specific context of verbiage next to a first cameo and a first full. They're different things. So you're arguing semantics. The first time Wolverine is seen in a comic fully in costume and saying his name is Hulk 180. And here comes this whole first time he's fully seen. We can see him from head to toe. The first time his name is stated. I'm going to say it again. That has never been an industry standard defining anything. This started getting traction in social media, and people wanted to groupthink and ran with it within their echo chamber. That does not define full appearance, and it never has, based on industry standard and precedent. But let me keep reading here. That is his one and only first appearance. 181 is his first full story, not appearance. Whether he is in cameo or throughout the comic, the first time you fully see the character in his entirety is Hulk 180. Thus, it is his first appearance. 181 is the second time you see him. It is his second appearance and first full cover and first full story. English should not be this hard. Well, first off, this is what I say to him. Okay, so the irony, and I see that he actually just responded here, and this is where arrogance is just ridiculous, guys, and acting like adults should come first. But this is what I say to him. I say, you're right that English should not be this hard, but this argument it's not based in English, guys. It's just based in opinions and how we interpret things. And I said, by the way, I teach English. This is not a matter of understanding English. I mean, it is in a sense, because his argument is not, he's not even understanding the actual proper definition in terms of these words. But at the end of the day, it's not really about English. It's just about how you perceive these appearances to be. But this is what I say. Your idea of what defines a full appearance is simply an opinion. Provide me with one reputable industry source that states a full appearance has to do with how much of a body is seen or if a name is stated. There is none. This argument didn't start really until a few people on social media started arguing it, and other people now want to regurgitate it in an echo chamber. The irony here, I actually agreed that the way you define 181 is better. If it was up to me, I would label it just like you did, Michael. I would call it, what did he say? I would call 181 a second appearance, first full cover, and first full story when he's throughout the story. I'd love that so much better. And then take out the word cameo and call it brief, because even though cameo and brief are the same thing, brief is obviously, I guess, in layman's terms, 181 is the first appearance of Wolverine. And then you could say it's a brief appearance, but it's still his first. I would agree here, but guess what? As I say here, what you and I think doesn't change what the industry has laid forward. You can hate it, you cannot respect it, but it is the only true label. Anything else is simply a matter of one's own opinion. Now, I haven't read this response yet, but we're going to read it together. The irony of teaching English and not understanding qualifiers is amusing. Here we go. grown men acting like children. I'm trying to have a respectful debate with this guy, and I'm even agreeing with him now. And this is what I get hit back with. The first time you see Wolverine is in 180. That makes it his first appearance. I'm not denying that. Here we go. The second time you see Wolverine is in 181. That makes it a second appearance. I've already stated that. It is definitely his second overall appearance. It is as simple as that. Whether CGC or some other industry idiot wants to change the English language, it is immaterial. If a student asks you, what comic does Wolverine first appear? I hope you say 180. Here, this is 180. Now let me put one sentence. Let me break down English for you based in one simple sentence. Check this out. Wolverine first appears fully in Hulk 181. That is proper English and proper context with how the comic book industry has coined the term full. That's it. It's that simple. There you go. So I'm gonna leave and end this video on this note, guys. I'm so tired of this conversation. If you don't like the way that the comic book industry has utilized these terms based on precedent now, start a petition. Start a petition. Because no matter what you or I believe, it's just a matter of opinion and it's not going to change what the industry defines. The industry is not changing the English language. It's not. It's using it properly in the matter that they see fit, the best way that they want it. I would have never used the word cameo. I would have never used the word cameo in the first place. And I do agree with this Michael guy, even though he's being an a-hole and pompous, that there are better terms out there. But that's how it is. You don't like it? Sign a petition. Otherwise, it's merely your opinion. You can have your opinion, but to argue with other people or to argue and say that somebody else is wrong, that this isn't proper English, is 100% false. So I would recommend, number one, you want to be in comic books and you don't want to be an a-hole, get used to it and understand that this is what the industry is rolling with. Hate it, but stop these fallacious arguments that they're not proper English. Because they are. And I will take you to court on it. Otherwise, sign a petition. And guess what? If anybody starts a petition, I'll sign it with you. Mike, if you want to start a petition to get rid of the word cameo, simply use the word brief. And then for an actual first full appearance, call it a first full story. I'm down. I'm down with you. I'm down with you. I will sign that petition. But until then, these are the facts, and it is what it is, like it or not. That's the video for today, folks. I do hope that you share your comments and your thoughts in the comment section below. And again, appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. Click the like button if you enjoyed it. Click the thumbs down button if you didn't enjoy it. And I would love to hear all of your guys' opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Be well.